Hello friends, and welcome to a brand new camera comparison between the Samsung Galaxy S24 FE against the iPhone 16. Right now we are recording at 4K at 30 frames per second. Tell me in the comment section below which one do you think has better colors and which one has a better audio.
As is typical on our channel, all daylight pictures are taken in auto mode with no edits made afterward. The Scene Optimizer is the only setting enabled on the S24 FE, while on the iPhone, I left the settings in standard mode. As with every other comparison, there are significant differences, so let me break them down. The iPhone 16 photos tend to be darker, but the color tones are more accurate. In contrast, the S24 FE captures brighter images with extremely vibrant colors. The S24 FE is a safer option when dealing with darker areas, like the trees in this shot, where they are much more noticeable compared to the iPhone 16, which retains natural colors but loses some visibility in shadowy parts. There were some instances where the results were quite similar, as seen here. While the S24 FE's picture remains brighter and more vivid, the difference between it and the iPhone 16 is less pronounced in this case. While the S24 FE makes everything more visible, the iPhone 16 stands out in how it handles the sky. On the FE, the sky appears flat, whereas the iPhone renders it more lively, with noticeably better color depth. Both devices are equipped with ultra-wide cameras, and the difference here is even more pronounced. The sky looks fantastic on the iPhone 16, while it continues to appear dull on the S24 FE. However, the buildings in the foreground are much more vibrant on the Galaxy. Each phone stays true to its processing style, with the Galaxy favoring vibrant colors and the iPhone opting for more natural tones. Ultimately, it comes down to personal preference. In some instances, like this one, I prefer Samsung's approach. The photo taken with the iPhone is too dark, and the greenery is barely visible. In contrast, the image from the S24 FE is ready to be posted on social media without any need for additional editing. In other examples, where the sky dominates the frame, the iPhone pulls ahead. Although I still appreciate how the greenery looks on the FE, the clouds on the iPhone 16 are simply stunning. Another key difference between these devices is how they handle details. The S24 FE tends to slightly over-sharpen, while the iPhone produces smoother images. Personally, I lean toward the iPhone's approach, as I'm not a fan of overly sharpened photos. Both devices can zoom in at 2x using their main cameras without losing detail, and honestly, both perform very well. As before, the S24 FE is slightly sharper, while the iPhone produces a smoother image, yet retains all the necessary details. At 3x, the S24 FE switches to its dedicated telephoto sensor, while the iPhone 16 relies on digital zoom. As expected, the Galaxy delivers a sharper image. Although the iPhone begins to lose some detail at this point, the results still hold up quite well, even at 3x. At 2x, both devices continue to impress with their unique processing styles we've discussed earlier. The iPhone now leans towards slightly warmer tones, while the S24 FE produces cooler colors. Once again, at 3x, the S24 FE captures more details, but the iPhone remains close in quality. For example, if we focus on the small tree in the foreground, it's sharper on the FE, though it still looks quite good on the iPhone. Portraits have always been a standout feature of iPhones, and the 16 is no exception. In this particular sample, the iPhone 16 easily outperforms the S24 FE. My skin tone is more accurate, my face has greater detail, and the background blur appears more natural in the iPhone's shot. The S24 FE performs much better in the next sample, but it still doesn't quite match the iPhone 16. On the FE, my face has a reddish tone that doesn't accurately reflect how I look in real life, while the iPhone handles this aspect far better. The S24 FE can take portraits at 3x using its telephoto sensor, whereas the iPhone 16 achieves them at 2x by cropping in with the main camera. Surprisingly, the S24 FE delivers a better result with its telephoto lens. My skin tone now looks more lifelike, and in terms of detail, it even surpasses the iPhone 16. Although it did slightly mess my hair, I still prefer the portrait taken with the S24 FE. When switching to the front cameras, we can see a noticeable difference in how each device renders my skin tone. Surprisingly, the S24 FE comes much closer to how I look in reality, while the iPhone appears as if it applied a filter with a cooler tone. In the next sample, the iPhone redeems itself and now looks slightly better compared to the S24 FE, which still performs impressively. In terms of detail, both cameras are fantastic. When recording videos with their main cameras, it's clear that the iPhone is simply on another level. The footage captured by the S24 FE tends to appear somewhat flat in comparison, while the iPhone delivers lively colors that make the overall video look much better. Although the S24 FE does a better job handling the sky, especially in tricky lighting conditions, I still preferred the iPhone 16's overall results. As for stabilization, both devices are evenly matched. The story remains similar even when we switch to their ultra-wide cameras. While the Samsung Galaxy S24 FE is very good on its own, the iPhone consistently offers brighter shadow areas, more pleasing color tones, and an overall richer visual experience. Additionally, the iPhone 16's ultra-wide lens captures a slightly wider field of view compared to the S24 FE. Videos recorded at 3x are slightly sharper on the S24 FE thanks to its telephoto sensor, but just like with pictures, the iPhone 16 is almost just as good. Even though it is recording with digital zoom, the iPhone 16 isn't inferior at all when it comes to details, and in terms of colors, I much prefer it over the Galaxy. Moving on to low light, where all pictures from this point forward are taken with night mode enabled. Both devices perform well with their front cameras, and while the S24 FE retains more detail, I find both pictures appealing. In the next scene, where lighting was limited, both cameras show a decline in quality, with the S24 FE taking a more noticeable hit. The iPhone 16 manages to preserve some facial detail, whereas on the FE, my face looks almost like a painting. When it comes to their main cameras, both devices are exceptional. The S24 FE is slightly brighter, but in this specific sample, the difference is minimal. The store lights in the iPhone shot are a bit overexposed, but it's not a major issue as the overall image still looks nearly as good as the FE's. In the next sample, the roles reverse, with the iPhone 16 not only brighter but also significantly more detailed. On the S24 FE, the sky is darker, and details on the white tower have been lost. The S24 FE rebounds in the following scene, delivering a better picture than the iPhone 16. This wouldn't be a true camera comparison if one device was consistently superior, and as you can see, the results vary from scene to scene. For the most part, one would say that the main cameras of these devices are some of the best in the industry for their prices, and you can't go wrong with whichever device you'll end up choosing. With their ultra-wide cameras, the difference in color reproduction is more pronounced compared to their main lenses. The iPhone 16 captures darker tones, while the S24 FE is brighter, though it introduces a pink hue that wasn't present in real life. If you prefer more vivid photos, the S24 FE might be your preferred choice. This wasn't a one-off occurrence, as the same results appear in the next scene. Personally, I really like the look of Samsung's photo, but to be fair, the iPhone 16's image is closer to how the scene appeared in reality. At this place, where the iPhone 16 was initially brighter with its main camera, it now falls short compared to the S24 FE. The trees are more visible on the Galaxy, yet the picture still manages to capture the night ambience. The next sample surprised me, as the greenery appears brighter on the iPhone 16, while the colors on the S24 FE are more pleasing to the eye. Interestingly, the iPhone image seems slightly over-sharpened, while the S24 FE remains smoother, quite the opposite of the results we've seen in most cases. At 2x, both devices maintain good detail, with the S24 FE having a slight edge in terms of color accuracy. The iPhone 16 still performs well, but I personally preferred the Galaxy's output. The difference becomes more noticeable at 3x, as the S24 FE switches to its telephoto camera. While the iPhone 16 continues to deliver impressive results, optical zoom generally outperforms digital zoom. In the next scene, the iPhone 16 captures more detail on the tower. However, if you focus on the clock, the white color is overexposed on the iPhone. The S24 FE, unfortunately, fares even worse here, with the image appearing messier. At 3x, the S24 FE corrects this issue, and now the clock's color is perfectly preserved. Meanwhile, the iPhone 16 remains overexposed, and the image has become noisier. In this instance, the S24 FE looks much better. When it comes to portraits, I believe the iPhone is the clear winner. In terms of color, both devices are quite similar, but the iPhone shines in detail. Samsung applies a face smoothing effect in portraits, which is why I prefer the iPhone 16. The difference becomes even more obvious in the next sample. On the Galaxy S24 FE, my face and hair lack detail, and the overall color tone of the picture seems off. So, what do you think? For me, there isn't a definitive winner. The S24 FE performs better with zoom and the ultra-wide camera, while the iPhone shines in portraits and videos. Both devices have excellent cameras, and whichever one you choose, I'm confident you'll be satisfied. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.